Thanks, Ceann Comhairle.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Listen, more than a year ago, we stood here and saluted the women in the gallery who are back here again. Horror was expressed at the butchery that they had endured. Shock at how society could have allowed this barbaric practice to go unchallenged, and a resolve expressed from all parties to rectify the damage and do something. And in that context, I think the fact that it's taken over a year to get to this stage is in some ways shameful. But it is also a tribute to the resolve of Deputy O'Quailon, primarily, and also critically to the survivors of symphysiotomy who have kept this battle going, because without that I don't think we would be here today. So while today is a good day and I welcome the fact that the government isn't opposing the bill, I have to say it's not the end of a long struggle for justice, but hopefully it's the beginning of the end. Because yesterday we listened to Rita and Catherine, who were mutilated over 50 years ago. 50 years they've spent living with the pain and the scars of what was done to them. And obviously there's nothing that we can do here that can undo that wrong. But we can help them to get justice. And the first thing we've got to do that is to vote for the bill tonight. The second thing I have to say to help them is to reject the claims of the Minister that this is a flawed bill, because it isn't. It's based on existing legislation for the survivors of sexual abuse in residential institutions, and it needs to be passed, and passed quickly. But I think we also have to challenge a number of the assertions made by the Minister last night that the services are in place to support these women, because the reality is that they are not. The medical needs of the survivors are not being looked after as they should be, and as the Minister claimed last night. And I'd like the Minister to respond to the fact that the daughter of one of these survivors had to leave this chamber last night to find that her mother, who's in her 80s, has had her home help hours ended. The standard allocation of home help hours for these victims is 1 hour a week. This is an enormous issue. Some women are only getting 30 minutes a week. Independent clinical advice, the Minister says, is there for those people, but they can have a long wait to get that. They're not getting refunded their medical expenses, and a lot of women have had to go private.
Well, you have 1 minute left.
Thanks, Ceann Comhairle. The facilities are not there. The provision of items like incontinence supplies are provided directly by the HSE and are of such poor quality that many of the women do not avail for them and do not opt for that. So if we're serious about really giving these women the justice that they deserve, then you will discuss and agree that their medical needs will be met. And it's not true to say that the system is honouring them. The last point I'll make, Ceann Comhairle, is those who say that this happened in old Ireland and it wouldn't happen now are obviously people who haven't been tuning in to the inquest into the death of Savita Halappanavar. The same ethos of the medical profession, knowing everything, of dismissing the wishes and treating women like commodities, like experiments. That same ethos goes on today. And unless we address that, that's the only way in which we can really vindicate and honour the very brave women who are in the gallery tonight.
Okay, thank you, Deputy.